Welcome, fight fans, to the Fighters Boys Kick-Ass Podcast. Your fight talk authority. Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard.
Live mic, man.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
But that's just me. I'm an
kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escovedo.
You fucked up, huh?
Streaming live and worldwide.
I'm just an asshole.
Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighters Boys Kick-Ass Podcast.
Fresno, California, we're live here in Mad Production Studios, the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, or should I say the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition. I'm here with my co-host with the most, who's been bitching and complaining since he walked in, the one and only, the UFC veteran himself, the Apache Kid, Mr. Cole Escovedo. Welcome to the show, my man.
I don't know. I can't hear anything, but it's all good. I can. Well,
I mean, well, shit, we heard you as soon as you walked in, man.
Dude.
You came in here showing nipple. You're upset because the G-string was off to the left. We accommodated your need. You're here in studio. We got my man here from Combate Americas. He's coming over here to terrorize the cage. That's the one and only Mr. Adrian Guzman. What's up, my man?
What's up, Rich?
You feeling good?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel really good.
Good, man, because you look like you're ready to go. You came in with your boys, man. You want to introduce them?
Oh, yeah. My boy Alex Perez right there.
Alex Perez.
Good looking. And then my boy Brock Diaz, chilling.
Hey, there you go. They're ready to go. They got that look in their eyes, man. They're ready to go.
Hell yeah. One of them's going to be fighting with me tomorrow, Friday night, so.
Yeah, so you feeling good? You're on weight right now? You're on course?
Yeah, I'm my weight's good. You know, I'm where I'm supposed to be at right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm where I'm supposed to be, so I'm not really gonna stress this weight cut too much. I think it's gonna be an easy weight cut, and then refueling tomorrow.
Yeah, because I know your weight last time was right on point, and that's why you were able to finish that last fight very strong instead of wearing down. But you said last time you probably lost about 5 pounds in that cage, man, just letting it go at least.
Yeah. You know, I actually cut more weight last time, and this time around I'm not cutting as much weight.
Oh, there you are, man.
I feel like that's gonna be a good little factor for me. It's gonna play in my favor. The night of the fight. Yeah, I'm gonna cut a lot of weight. I feel good, and I'm ready to go on Friday.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Cole. Everything good?
Weight class usually matters when you don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can hear it now.
Oh, can you? Yeah, are they paying us? The one with the label right there? Even
that's why
even though they're generic?
That's why I turned their ass around.
I got a little echo, but we're still good. You turn them around? Everything's good?
Turn them around.
Yeah, man.
But
missed you, Cole? Shoot.
Well, dude, it's been a day, bro. It's been a day.
Okay, well, let's hear the day of Cole.
No, we're not going to talk about it online. That's not happening.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Okay, well, we talk about it.
I ain't trying to incriminate myself. It's been a day, dude. We're not talking about it.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. No wonder you came in the way. Oh, that's a lot better, my man. No wonder you came in half dressed, a mess, and
nipple hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of things hanging out.
It's good times.
No, it is good times. But see, I want to talk about my man here because he just has that. He just has that different look to him. He's ready to go. He's hitting his knuckles and what have you, and. When I inboxed him, he said, I got to catch a flight. So I was asking him, hey, where were you? He didn't answer right away, so it's none of my business. But, taking care of business, right?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, you can grab the mic. You don't bite a little bit.
So
there you go.
I told you I was just on the road.
You did. I'm just giving you a hard time. You can pull the mic up a little bit so everybody can follow you a little bit. Yeah, hold the bottom there so it don't fall.
Oh,
there we go. It's minor adjustment.
Yeah, we started heading this way around 9 o'clock from Irvine.
Okay.
And then a couple of things happened. Combates wanted to do a little interview and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And they're
some PR.
Yeah, some PR. And they're asking me about 5:30. So I was thinking, man, that's gonna kind of cut in. Short. Yeah, it's gonna cut into the studio time here.
Yeah.
So once we showed up, I let them know, like, hey, is there any way we could do this earlier? So I could do this, right now.
Appreciate that.
And then I appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, trust me, you're fighting, not us.
Oh, dude, it's an honor, man. And so I just let them know, hey, can we do a little quicker? And they're like, yeah, so we ended up getting that out the way. Then that was pretty cool. We had a little bit of time to chill at the hotel for a little bit, get a little bit of rest, and then now I'm here and still got a little bit of a busy day ahead of me. Gonna cut a little bit of weight, and then after that, I'm just gonna call it a night and get some rest.
Yeah, now that was a cool poster they had of you. We had that poster at KP. It was nice. It was a good little thing, Hooked you up, man. I mean, I was taking care of everybody and doing what they got to do, man. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. Shoot, man, you know, like usually every fight's like every other fight's just like a normal fight for me. And when they hit me like, oh, you're the main event, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know, I'm gonna be the main event. Then boom, next thing you know, they got a big old picture with me, some other dude, and I'm like, oh man,
welcome to the show.
It's a little different. You get a little bit different of like promotional push behind you when you're like the main event for a fight. It's just how it goes, but it feels different, you know, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, you know, that's cool. Like, you know, I get a little bit of exposure and stuff like that. You know, people get to find out a little bit more about me, so I'm not mad about it.
No. I mean, you're making new fans. There was a guy. His name was Prince Marshall. Okay, he was a former. He's not a. Well, he used to be the principal at the school site I was at. Now he's in Fresno, and that was his first time watching live MMA. And he's a big fan of yours. He's tuning in today.
Oh, that's tight.
Because of that fight you put on him.
What's up, dude? What's up?
Yeah, Prince.
I'm glad you're watching.
That's what's up, man. So you're picking up fans, man, making it happen.
Shoot, you know, like I like to say supporters. You know,
yeah, there you go.
I got a lot of support out there. You know, everybody
Followers
out there that's watching right now has been supporting me. Thank you guys so much. You know, I do this because I love to do it. You know, people just like to watch fighting too, and well, you know, I'm glad I could put on a show for you guys also. Yeah, so thank you to everybody out there, you know, supporting, showing some love.
So tell us about, what do you know about your opponent? You know anything about him?
Yeah, I did a little bit of research on him. He trains with Cowboy over there at the ranch, and I know their style. They got like a real traditional Muay Thai style, and real technical fighters. They like to trade, and I think this guy's a technician. You know, pretty good stand-up guy, technical. So I got some things that I can't do that I did in the last fight against this guy. You know, probably don't want to go in there all guns blazing, get caught with something.
Yeah, that's, you know, the less you could put yourself in a position to where you have to, the scenario involves not getting caught, like you're leaving yourself open for that scenario to happen. So you always want to come at it with a better strategy of, wow, let's play like we're the house. Let's keep like a little bit of an edge advantage, like where we know we're stronger. Let's try to keep it there as much as possible. Yeah, that's always smart.
Yeah, you know, so like, that's exactly what I was thinking, you know, like, play it smart, you know, and then I started watching some film on him, and like breaking him down and seeing what he likes to do. He seems pretty consistent with a lot of things that he likes to do. It's like a little pattern that I've seen that he likes to do a lot, and so I'm thinking like, all right, you know, he's probably gonna bring that. Maybe he might have switched some things up in camp, you know. So I don't want to be, you know, like focus too much on that, because, you know, I don't want to get caught with the element of surprise, you know.
No, but it gives you a window into kind of like where they feel their strengths are. Like if you watch your opponent's most recent fight, you'll get a good idea of, well, here's what they thought their strengths were during that fight camp. Like they really seem to have focused on their ground game. Last time he had no ground game, and this guy took him down and passed his guard like at that. So you can look at like, what do they think their strengths are? Because as a coach, you're looking at it for that time going, well, let's work on what you're good at first. Let's sharpen that up a little bit. Let's get that ahead of the game, because we know we're better at that. Then let's come up with some better strategy on that, and then we'll kind of worry about what he's good at, because realistically they're going to be good at everything anyway. Once you hit a certain level of opponents, like Alex, he can tell, once you hit a certain level of opponents, they're all kind of good at everything. So it's more of a force for you to start focusing on like, what are you good at and how do you get better at that, and then you just chisel on the rest as you go, because the game plans are kind of going to change on the fly anyway. No matter what you come up with, you know, it's going to, you know, everyone says that once you get punched, you might be like, okay, hits harder than I thought. Let's switch to takedown.
My man's here to offset him, man. Plain and simple, period.
My
man's here to offset him big time.
It's going to be a show.
You know,
dictator.
You know, and you know how you're saying, Rich. Like, I know he's technical, so it would, and I feel I gotten better at my technique since my last fight. You know, I had a little bit of time to improve, and you know, I feel confident in my stand up too, and I feel like I just gotta make him uncomfortable. You know, put some pressure on him, but nothing that's gonna put me in danger.
Don't over pressure without overextending. It's like military. You want to put a little pressure on a compound, but you don't want to overextend so much that you get flanked and you're weak and. You know,
exactly.
So that makes sense.
So I'm trying to like still make him uncomfortable. I don't want him to feel like he could just stand there and pick me apart. You know, I want him to know that anything he's gonna throw at me, he's gonna
cost him.
It's gonna cost him. You know, and so and then I'm looking to have a grimy fight with him, because he seems like a durable guy. And I feel like it's going to come down to who's going to push it. Who
pushes it longer and faster, especially near the end, who can dig in and pull it out. Because we've seen, last fights, he's just a tough cat. So you already know what you're going into.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that, I'm going to punch him, he's going to just,
break.
No, I think he's going to take a punch and he's going to want to give one back, and I'm going to have to be grimy.
There's a good chance you're going to see the end of round 2 and probably a round 3.
Yeah, I feel strong too right now. I feel strong. So I feel if I could land that good shot that I've been feeling really strong, with my left hook, with all my punches, uppercuts.
You just feel like you kind of upgraded a little bit since the last fight, and that's always you want to. You always want to get better.
I feel strong, so I feel if I could connect clean with this guy, I might be able to drop him, and then hopefully he stays down a little longer than the guys that because I've been able to drop the guys in the past, but can't keep them down,
Well, last guy you dropped, you knocked him out, knocked him back in the same combination.
Right.
I truly believe he was out, and then you knocked him back in. He stopped breathing, and then he started breathing after you landed that right hand. And that guy was durable. He pushed you to the test, and it showed you something as a fighter. Do you ask yourself, you know exactly what you're made of and what you can do and where you've been inside that cage, man?
Yeah, I learned a lot about myself in that last fight. That's also a reason why I do these fights. Want to figure out what I'm capable of doing, learning a little bit about myself, and that fight showed me, I could push pretty far. My limits are pretty. I think I got pretty high limits, overcome a little adversity. So that's why going into this fight, I know this guy, technical guy. I might have to face a little adversity. I'm putting this guy on a pedestal right now. Because that's always been my key to victory. I never try to belittle him and think, it's going to be an easy fight.
Each opponent should be seen as a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. So I put this guy, up here, and I'm like, man, I'm thinking, he's like very good at all these things, and so, but that's when I get in there and I start doing my thing, and I figure out, oh man, I'm actually pretty. I can actually take this guy down.
It's an opportunity to show that I'm better. I thought he was really good, which means I'm better than that.
Exactly. So, then I start building my confidence from there. But we'll see how it goes. I'm very confident about Friday. I'm very confident. I feel good. I feel strong. So I'm ready to see how Friday goes.
Yeah. How's your week been so far leading up? And how's Combate treated you since you got here? What do they got lined up for you? I know tomorrow, I believe, is the weigh-in. What time is that?
Tomorrow's the weigh-in. So we weigh in at 10 o'clock. We get the official weigh-in done at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then from there, I go eat and stuff like that. And then they have the
public.
Yeah, the public weigh-ins at 4:30. And that's when.
Where are those located at?
Right at the DoubleTree.
DoubleTree. Okay.
Yeah. And then so we'll be out there at the DoubleTree, and we're gonna face off and do all that so the public can see it.
Yeah.
And then take the rest of the night off.
I may have to reschedule my dentist appointment, man. I had everything lined up too, Cole. I did all week, all my appointments lined up, man. Use all my benefits that I can. Now it's telling me 4:30, man. There's no way I can pull that off. I got to reschedule. See the stuff we got to do for our fighters, man, just to be there.
For the way, well,
hey,
I mean,
I'm gonna be there and show some support, man.
Squeeze it. Well, you're like me. You work a day job, so can't squeeze in the 10 a.m. for the official.
No, that's not gonna happen. And it's probably no, that's not gonna happen. No, but I mean, we are gonna be there. I mean, the main thing is the day of the fight. We plan on getting that post-fight interview, man. And
oh yeah,
especially that victory interview.
Yeah, for sure. The way I go into this fight and every other fight, I come here to win. I won't accept anything else. I won't allow myself to. And I've trained hard. I put in the work, and I come here to win. So,
how about when you're not training?
Then my confidence goes low.
No, I mean in general. Like when you're not in fight camp, you don't go for a fight. Like all we've gotten to really hear so far is like how you're getting ready for the fight. Like in between fights, what do you need to do? Do you have a side job? Do you go to school?
No, well, right now I got a good opportunity right now to be able to train full time.
Okay,
and
that's great.
It's been since I've had the opportunity, it's been a life changer.
Training full time without the stress is a real increase to training ability because you don't have that outside stress. Like everyone says, oh, go to the gym, forget about your worries. Yeah, good fucking luck. You go to the gym and the whole time you're trying to roll, it's a mundane thing. The whole time you're thinking is, man, how am I going to pay rent? Where am I going to come up to? You can't stop and not think about it because it's a reality that a lot of fighters face while they're trying to train and work and earn money and still pay
And plus,
bills.
it's always good to have that rest and recovery, man, and to go in there fresh every single time.
Yeah. Nah, you know, it's definitely a blessing, man. Like, you know, this is something that's something that I've always worked toward, even when I had a job. Because I used to train, I used to work and during the day, and then go to training, and I would work, and I would train, and I would fight, and I used to tell myself, you know, one day I'm gonna fight so much, and I'm gonna get my record so good that I won't have to work anymore, and I'll just train full time. And I thought that was gonna happen like later down the line, you know, and it actually happened. The opportunity for that came around a little bit earlier in my life, so. Now it's like, you know, I just focus on the training now, and my job now is just to fight, you know. And so that's my job. That's how I make a living now. And shoot, I wouldn't trade this life for anything else. I love it.
No, yeah, it sounds
an open door for opportunity right there.
As I say, when you have such a big opportunity there to take advantage of and utilize, it really changes fighters. Like you take one guy who, we used to have a guy, the Evangelista brothers, Billy and George. George would go fight, and then we'd be like, hey, so what's going on? He'd be like, I'm going to work. Leave the fight to go to work, and then he tried doing it without and saw a massive improvement. Because he was like, dude, I don't have to worry about this, I don't have to worry about that. I wake up, I train, I take a nap, I lunch, I take a nap, and I go train. That's it. So it puts him like, obviously in a happy place, too.
A lot of people go their whole careers, they don't get that opportunity. To this day, I know some professional boxers that are top rank. I mean, they still have a day job. They haven't quite been able to say, okay, I'm a full-time boxer yet, and they're in the top 10. That's just the reality of it. And you have this opportunity, man, you need to run with it, capitalize on it, embrace it, make it yours. Don't give it up, man.
Yeah, you know, I don't plan on giving up the opportunity. You know, I'm gonna take it as far as I could take it, and I'm just gonna keep fighting as long as I can keep fighting until
how much family you got coming down? How many supporting aspects do you have in your life? Who's making the trip down to come and see you get in that cage, man?
I got a lot of family. I got a lot of family coming down. I got a lot of friends coming down. I got a lot more.
I mean, because you're headlining here. I mean, you don't know if that'll ever happen again. It could be the first of many to come. But then again, I mean, you never know. So you know, make good use of it.
Yeah, you know, I got a lot of family and friends coming down, and.
Anybody in particular you want to say what's up to, man, right now? So let them know.
Shout out to, hi, Mom.
Oh, that's
all my brothers and sisters watching.
That's right.
Love you guys. All my family, love you guys too. All my family, all my friends. Hey, thank you guys for supporting your boy.
That's right.
And this main event won't be possible without you guys, and it's probably because you guys, this main event is possible because I could sell some tickets and put on a good little show, you know, like, so the fact that I'm able to sell tickets, you know, and put on a good show.
I've been wanting to pick fighters' brains about this. That gets you up to do it. How do you feel about the ticket sale commission thing? Not with this organization in particular or anything like that. Just how do you feel
in general
that supplements purses, things like that? Do you feel it's even something that really is on your mind, never on your mind?
Nah, you know, like, I don't care about the money, you know, like, I don't fight because I'm trying to get ticket money or, you know, like, or any of that purse stuff. Like, that stuff is cool, you know, it comes with it, you know, as long as I have enough to take care of myself, I'm good. Like, last time, one time when I got tickets late, and then I only sold like 3 tickets. But I wasn't tripping. I still showed up and I still fought. You know, I didn't even get the money for the commission for those tickets.
Yeah, I was gonna say on that. That's well, because so many promoters do that. Like that's like the purses. They work with smaller budgets,
Yeah, I know a
so
lot
the
of
purses
them.
aren't big.
Yeah.
So they try to supplement for the fighters. Like, well, we use as many local guys as possible. Not too many because you don't want to drown the pool of the fan base pool. You don't want everybody buying tickets from like 20 different guys, and it's like everybody sold 10 tickets.
Yeah.
So they kind of do that, but I've seen it more and more prevalent. A lot of amateur organizations do that. They can't pay you like, well, we'll give you a commission of tickets that you sell because that's separate from the fight itself. We're not paying you for the fight. We're paying you for selling tickets. Like we're paying you to be a box office basically. So.
Yeah.
Well, the way it is, like, if it's required that I sell a certain amount of tickets, that I have to sell a certain amount of tickets, and I'm gonna do like my best to sell those tickets.
And that comes with the self-marketing, the branding. Like we were telling Jose that one time, we're like, dude, just
Actually,
give a
Jose's at
t-shirt.
dethroned right now, doing a meet and greet, 6 o'clock.
That's
Selling
right.
some tickets,
Yeah, I saw that on the Clovis. Clovis and was it Clinton?
Yeah, I want to say Clinton.
That sounds about right. It's like on Clovis Avenue before you get to Kings Canyon. It's the Clovis dethroned. It's a good one. It's where Mike is. But yeah, I could see that being a motivator for some, depending on what their purses are. So that kind of becomes a motivator for some sometimes. But like we were telling Jose, is we just said it's about self-marketing and branding. Like we were saying, dude, just when you sell the tickets, just give them a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like you get a T-shirt with the tickets, and then you could sell like better package deals where it's like a shirt, a certain level ticket, and like a sticker or something. You know what I mean? Like it's easy ways to do it. Once you get to sales and you want to sell them.
So do you got a sponsor? You coming in with a sponsor shirt tomorrow at all?
I got some shirts from my sponsors on the back.
Oh, okay.
And that's about it. And I got my fight shorts that got the sponsors on it. Oh yeah, shout out to my cousin Paz, Carlos, my cousin Carlos Paz.
Okay.
He's the one that helps me make my fight shirts. So shout out to him.
There you go.
Yeah, so I got a couple sponsors too. Wally's Auto Collision, Auto Collision in Reedley, guys. Check them out. I got Total Aggression Clothing. Can I give a quick shout out to my sponsorships real quick?
Well, go ahead, man. I mean, you hit 5 of them already.
All right, let me
Hit the other 5.
just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsorships real fast.
Go ahead, man.
It's still the NASCAR level.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is where you get multiple sponsors, things like that. Yeah.
So, guys, I want to give a shout out to OC Fight Docs from Orange County, Timo Yama Training Center for letting me train out there, St. Cloud Barbers in Parlier, Reality Concepts, Angel Dwight. Check him out. He's in Parlier. My homie Miggs, Mermaids and Barbells, Total Aggression, Kydex Works, guys. If you have if you're a licensed gun owner, you can get yourself a concealed carry holster with Kydex Works. Paul's Dermatology, Someone's Finest Smoke Shop for all you smokers that like to smoke, and Wally's Collision Auto Center.
There you are, man.
That's a
get 'em
lot.
all?
It's a
It
lot
is.
to put on a shirt.
It is a lot to put on the shirt.
It is, but that's what I'm saying is, you kind of have to still.
Yeah,
in
no,
this
I
day
mean,
and age.
you do, and they'll be satisfied, because of anybody that doesn't. When they do that post-fight interview, they're gonna throw on a fighter's voice shirt and just pop that thing. I just have to slide it in there on the down low. You know what I mean?
Tell
So
'em
make
what
that
it is.
happen. Make that happen exactly. Hey, I want to change things up a little bit, man. I know you're a big MMA fan and you follow MMA, but I'm just gonna flip it a little bit, man. What did you think about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury? I know you watched the fight Saturday. I'm not talking about the ring walk. I'm talking about the outcome of the fight, the aftermath, and your comment. And were you at all surprised? And keep it real.
To be honest, I didn't even get to watch the fight live. I watched the fight last night. Last night I watched the fight on YouTube. They actually have the full fight, and I watched the fight and I was looking at Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and then when I looked at him, I could tell that Tyson Fury was heavier. He was heavier, and I know he had made a comment something about that he's gonna put on more weight so he can make sure he knocks out Deontay Wilder. So I'm like, maybe that's a little smarter. Maybe that's kind of smart. Put on some more weight, pack a harder punch. So Tyson Fury looked like a little bit bigger. I was like, before they had falls, like, maybe he's probably gonna hit him a little harder this time. But I thought, Deontay Wilder would still pack that punch. It was weird watching that fight. It was just Deontay Wilder, the way he was moving, and it looked like every time he got cracked, he was just stumbling, trying to regain his balance. It really looked like. Well,
here's the thing on that I noticed. I watched their first one, and then I watched the second one. And I noticed that when Tyson fought him the first time, he wasn't as aggressive as he was this one, and it went all of them. Deontay, from my understanding, I watched some highlights just to try to squeeze him in, things like that. He seems to be like just super aggressive, period, and not really known for backing up. And then I saw a video with Tyson. He was doing an interview. He said that he saw the same thing in his last fight. When he fought him, it was like the 11th, I want to say the 11th or the 12th round. He got him to go backwards, and he saw how he fought when he went backwards, and he was like, uh-huh. So when the opportunity to rematch him came around, he said we changed that in training. Like, he even switched trainers. He switched trainers entirely to a more aggressive trainer. It was out of Kronk Gym.
Out of Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart's the only trainer who trains his fighters for.
And they're all he named off the different fighters that are known for that aggressive style that literally got it from that gym.
From Emmanuel Stewart.
The yellow shorts, I guess.
Yeah, it's the Kronks talking about Tommy Hearns, Gerald McClellan.
Yeah, Tommy Hearns.
Michael Moore. Anybody that comes out of the Kronk gym, they're all bangers.
So he changed it this time, and he said, I was going to be the aggressor. And it looked like, if you compare the two fights, he was way more aggressive on this one. Like, he just kind of came forward on him. So meanwhile, you got Deontay that's having to back up now, not getting to unload as much power as it, because he's always got that I can lose, I can hit you in the 12th and slap you because I'm just a beast. But you don't get that when you're backpedaling. When you're going back, you're losing that. I mean, Anderson Silva still knocked out Forrest Griffin watching backwards with a jab, but we're not even going to talk about that.
That was just his day. He made him look so bad.
But generally speaking, when backing up, you lose that power. So he saw that. So he's like, I trained camp and just said, we're going to go forward on him and push him.
Yeah.
And sixth or seventh round was the result for that.
Seventh round.
So
one thing I noticed a lot with that, Tyson Fury was doing a lot in that fight. So he was coming in, he was staying in his face, and then like he would hit him with some good punches coming in, and then when they would clinch up, he would grab his head like he was doing a guillotine or something.
Make him carry his weight.
Yeah, and I seen that he was doing it every time.
Yeah,
every time he was just grabbing him with a guillotine and just dropping his weight for like about a good 5 seconds. Probably.
Yeah, and that's where you get some of those pictures where it looks like Deontay shooting in on him, but it's like, dude, he was just
that is a win-win situation in the sport of boxing, because you can stay there and let the ref break you, but you're still, all that weight is on you.
You could just lean on him.
If you're staying there, if you're the victim. Now, if you resist, there's all that stress on your neck. That is a win-win situation. I mean, he knew
tired,
he knew what he was doing.
If you fight, totally. Yeah. But that walkout didn't help him.
No,
dude, like some 40-pound get up.
Let's talk about that walkout. Now, when you're a millionaire, you can create your own outfit. I get that, your own personal designer, but you got to know people in Hollywood that can make it that's ceramic or lightweight. It doesn't have to be the actual heavy footage.
Here's the thing: two things. One, I heard the Mortal Kombat fight right before it went off, just because of that costume. I was instantly thinking of a video game. But the thing is, though, he says he hadn't worn it before, didn't know how heavy it would be. I mean, I guess.
Cole, I just made you a whole boxing outfit for your next fight. You're not going to try it on? Or your suit before you get married?
Custom.
Yes, exactly.
So to say you hadn't felt it, I was going to say, I could say last minute maybe, but that's something that you planned out. That's part of your walkout. Like, why would you put on something that's 40 pounds?
Well, I mean, okay. When Tommy Hearns got knocked out by Marvin Hagler, Emmanuel Stewart said there, and he came in the dressing room, left the dressing room for a second. He came in there and somebody was rubbing Tommy's the back of his thighs and massaging him, and he immediately threw that person out and said, you don't ever do that before a walkout. You don't massage, you don't relax their legs. So he claimed that in the fight that his legs just kind of gave out on him. And I know it may happen, but I just that's really, accept the loss for what it is. The whole world wants to see part 3, but I mean, as a fighter, and when you face defeat for the first time, you're grasping. There has to be. You're looking for anything. It didn't rain that day. I didn't put my shorts on that. You're looking for an excuse, and I don't even want to use the word excuse.
I know.
You're looking for a solution, I guess you would say, is why you lost.
I know lots of champions that have just said, "I got my ass kicked."
So why exactly? So why do you think he brought it up? What do you think?
Because he got his ass kicked and doesn't want to admit he got his ass kicked. He doesn't want to admit that somebody fought him, changed what needed to be fixed, and used it to beat him when he was cock of the walk. That's boy. Some people accept losing and others don't.
I wouldn't blame the suit. It's easier for me to say, dude, I don't get punched in the face.
I wouldn't have brought it up. I would have saved my face and said, dude, can I kick my fucking ass? To even mention, that's why I'm saying, before fights, whenever a fighter mentions an injury, but they're like, oh, but I'm still going to fight. What the fuck do you bring it up for then?
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking about an injury before the fight, you're basically foreshadowing your excuse if you lose.
Well, if we talk about the suit like we're doing now, we're taking away the game plan and the element of Tyson Fury going out and exercising that game plan and up to a T and is victorious. We're taking away his victory.
Yeah, by doing that, you're insinuating that the only reason I lost was because of some fucking stupid walkout suit, when in reality is a better boxer beat me, like a better strategy. That's
called boxing, man.
It'd be
in
a lot.
Division.
He'd look a lot better if he just came out and said, man, kicked my ass on that one. All right, wins number 3. Like, done. Everybody would like, dude, props. Way to be a champ. Way to take the L. Move on, But, speaking of taking the L, guess who got their W taken away?
Who's that?
ORTIZ. the Texas State Registration Licensing Group. It's like their version of the Athletic Commission.
Yeah.
Something happened. They didn't say it, but they officially announced that they turned it from a win to a no contest. And in pending further investigation is when they'll release their official decision on what is going to be the final word on it. But right now, it's from a W to a no contest.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, but
man, that's that behind the scenes stuff, man. There's a lot of
but
stuff
that
goes
automatically
on,
puts the pressure on Ortiz's camp. Because here's the thing: if Ortiz had lost, and got caught doing something, I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying, but if that's the way it was, if he got caught doing something, the Athletic Commission would be like, yeah, it's still a loss. But when you win a fight and then something comes up, your fight automatically becomes a no contest because now the validity of your win is in question.
Well, even Tyson, it was rumored that Tyson Fury, that his purse was being held up just because of that when he was licking the blood.
Yeah,
so
that was weird.
They want to look at it. Well, he did say, I'm going to taste blood that night. And that's exactly what he meant.
Yeah, that's just...
Let's talk about this. First of
granted,
all,
BJ did it before after he fucked up Hughes. He was like, but we didn't ever thought it was weird. Damn, but to watch him lick another man was just like...
Hey, first of all, honestly, on a different note, there's only one Tyson Fury. This guy
this
guy is special. Fighters like this come along every so often. I don't want to say and put him in the same category as Muhammad Ali,
but his persona.
But he is a special type of person. And I remember when he signed with Top Rank, Lee Samuels, Hall of Famer, who's been on the show. What's happened, Lee? Said, we signed Tyson Fury, and watch, Richard, he's something special. He said, that man is just something special. We put all our eggs in that basket. It paid off. Yeah. And here it is. And I'm going to ruffle up some feathers, but it is what it is. You had Top Rank Boxing against PBC, two big organizations. It wasn't about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. It's about us beating you. And that's the way it came down. So everybody in Top Rank and everybody in PBC, but they did work well together. It was a good collaboration. They worked good together. I'm saying this because I was on site, and to be there was quite the experience. The only thing other than craziness was probably Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, but this was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. How about you, Adrian? What would you do if like the guy tried to like lick your shoulder in the middle fight? Like you're clinched up with him, and you just feel, you're like, what are you doing, bro?
You probably get off, start bombing on the dude.
Man, I'll take my gloves off and slap him.
Well, unless you pull a Joe Soto. What did Joe Soto do? Right on the top of on the bow drain. The hump that was humped all over the world. The hump. Even Dana White said, "What the hell was that?" But that was just Joe Soto. I mean,
that was just him getting his ends before that fight was over.
You keep the camera on him, man. But, and you know what? I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to move on. Now, everybody wanted to be around the Gypsy King before the fight, after the fight. I'm getting ready to catch my flight. I'm getting ready to leave. Uber's going to pick me up, take me to the airport. You look right outside the casino. This dude is freaking right there. Regular. Touching people. People are just all over him. They just want to be a part of them. As if to say, you know what, I don't want to go to my room and enjoy it by myself. I want to enjoy it with the fans. And part of that conversation, I went and said, congratulations. He actually went to the Strip. He said, you know what, F it, let's go to the Strip. He's there, and there's footage of him just chilling with his fans, having a cold one, relaxing like a normal person.
But didn't he give away like all of his purse or something?
Bro, he gives money away to organizations and stuff.
Yeah.
You got to remember, if you hear his testimony, his story, it's, man. Yeah, how do you not like the Gypsy King? And that's a cold name anyways.
But it's a smart move because you know okay, so let's say he gives away the fight purse, which whatever it was, right? But between royalties and endorsements and bonuses and all that stuff, like he still makes out like a bandit.
He does.
So it's a great opportunity for him to like kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
Get his ends, take care of his family.
Don't you agree, Adrian? That's good marketing right there, man.
Yeah.
Would you give away?
You seem like a giver. I know when you're making the millions and you got the masses, you're going to start giving some fade away, or at least your time, and you're a people person. You like to give back.
Well, yeah, because I feel like, I know how it feels to get help from people, especially in hard times. So, for the people that need help, I know where they're coming from.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Then like Tyson Fury does a good job of like how you guys saying, being like the bad guy and like
he's a good promoter. He knows
promoting himself and making a lot of money. And so like he takes that money and he gives back. That's good. Like that's inspiring. That's motivating. Like it's motivating.
Yeah, that's somebody clearly called that needed to speak to Rich. But yeah, it's going to be a good motivator, and it does give you the opportunity to where you reach a certain point to where you're like,
Okay.
I've done enough success that I've gotten myself into a position where I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a side goal, like, you know, old school gangsters that like give away turkeys and stuff on Christmas and holidays and stuff like that. They give away food and bags of gifts and things because they were in a position to do that, and they came from the same area, they came from the same neighborhoods and all that stuff. They know everything that everybody else that's currently going through. So
I don't know
it's a good opportunity to be able to give that to somebody.
Oh yeah,
you know,
like no, don't get me wrong. You know, like I really enjoy helping people when I can. You know, right now I'm trying to take care of myself. Trying to get myself together, get my life together. You know, be able to make some money. So maybe I could give back to people. You know, especially people from my community. Parlier, California.
Since they've been supporting you pretty much from the go.
Heck yeah. Shout out to all my people out there in Parlier. You know, maybe I could be like a role model or something like that. You know.
Well, I mean, just in the position you're in now, you already kind of are going to be like just for any fans and you know in your area and things that have been watching you so far. Any little guys, like you're already in that position. So like, don't wait for that position or that feeling of you know, maybe I could be a role model. Like you're already in that position. You know, that was one of the things that drove me nuts about Jones was the second he hit superstar level, he was already in a position, and but at the same time he was already making like mistakes. Yeah. And it was just a lot for somebody at that age to handle. I imagine I get all that stuff, but that was where I was like, damn, dude, you were in such a good opportunity to be like a super, super good positive role model. But granted, his role model spot has come around too because he's also shown how he's learned from those mistakes. He's bettered himself. He's grown. That's what grown-ups do. So they show that whole ability and confront that. But you got to remember, they already think you're cool. Like the little guys already are going to look at you, especially the ones at the gym, any of the family members you have or friends in the neighborhood and stuff who have littles. They're going to look at you in that light already, and they're like, oh, I know Adrian. So anything Adrian does, or you know things like that, they're automatically going to look at that. So don't wait for like that feeling of I could be. Well, you already are.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Like I didn't. It wasn't like that. You know, like a couple fights ago. You know, like it's just I was just fighting out here. You know, and now that I got this main event shot, you know, I guess now people like know who I am a little bit more, and you know maybe a couple like younger individuals look up to me now. And so it's a little bit more like on me now to make a little bit, because I'm still young too. I still like to have a little fun, this and that,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
And so I'm just trying to make sure that if I am gonna have be like a role model or something, I gotta be leading by example and doing the right things out there. So that's like not to say that I don't do it like nothing.
Yeah, you just never thought of it in that sense of actually having I'm a main event spot now that changes things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and being able to see that ahead of time, that's a good thing.
Yeah, so like right now I'm just taking it one fight at a time, and
Is it one fight at a time? Do you have a multi-fight contract? Like, where are you at on that contract?
Yeah, I got 4 more fights after this one on my contract. So, taking each fight one fight at a time, and I feel confident about my future. I feel like I could make a good living with this career, and just gonna keep going at it. And really, my big goal, the actual main goal of the whole picture here is to end up in the UFC.
Oh yeah.
So, that's where that's my the destination for me right now.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah. It's like you said, it's just one fight at a time. Each fight leads to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm just embracing what I have, what I got, where I'm at right now, the position that I'm in right now, embracing it, and then, on to the next one, and back to the drawing board, back to working on myself and becoming a better martial artist and a better person.
So if you have fans that want to follow you, you've got Facebook, Instagram, I imagine you've got a Twitter, you got all those. Where can they find you?
I got an Instagram and a Facebook. So on Facebook, you can find me under Adrian Guzman, my name. Yeah, and then you can find me on Instagram under Adrian G 559, area code 559.
And then let's say they wanted to come and work out with you.
If you want to work out with me, most likely you'll find me in Irvine with Timo Yama, training, and with some of the best and then sometimes I'm out here in Fresno too. So if I'm out here, hit me up. We could probably get a little training session or something.
I was gonna say you should start like looking into that, like spreading your knowledge, spreading your experience. You're getting to the point now to where you're getting good enough at your craft that you can help others get better. You know what I mean? And so when you do that, when you are in like Fresno and things like that, like put it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to. That's also the thing too. I want to spread some knowledge. What I learned from everybody and teach it or something. So, yeah. Maybe I could.
Wouldn't hurt to make a little flyer. Hey man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in Fresno, or I'm gonna be in Bakersfield or something. Because you'd be surprised that if you just with the size of the community and stuff and support it has for things like that. When you say, hey, I'm gonna be in town, especially if you pull a W, it makes it even easier. It's like, hey, I'm gonna be in town this time, guys. Hell, maybe you come out like 2 weeks before the fight or something. You promote the fight while you're doing it, and you put on like a Saturday seminar or something, and you promote the fight at the same time. You get in a seminar. It's not like you're there to make money, but kids under like 12 can come in and do it for free. It's going to be like all kinds of things like that. Like, it'd be fun. It'd be good for you. I think it'd be another opportunity to market yourself.
Be real good for them.
Yeah, I just gotta get my credentials a little bit more. Like, get a little bit more credentials. Like, I feel like I gotta do. Well, not even a little bit more. I just gotta. I want people to know if I'm trying to teach something that I want them to know that this guy's legit. He knows what he's doing. Like,
You want to have a little more.
Yeah.
Behind your product before you sell the product.
I don't want to just be one of those guys that has a couple fights and is like, I'm
trying to start teaching MMA
teaching
classes.
and trying to make a living like that, and then I feel like that's like you got high, like I feel like that's gonna like make it harder for me to make the living.
Honesty is the best policy, man. Being honest, man.
So what's up with the bat phone?
Straight up. Well, I will say this. I won't comment too much, but I just received a phone call from a major promoter and shared with me some things that needed to be shared right now, this minute, this spot. So I want to apologize to viewers and fans if you see me move off or take this call. And there's only certain calls that I would take.
I was going to say, like,
there's only certain calls that I would take, and the fighter's voice, the only voice that matters. And trust me when I say we're simply knocking out the competition, and this podcast will go. It's going to go somewhere.
Interesting phone call, then. Okay.
Interesting phone call. Very interesting phone call. I wouldn't have took the phone call.
That's what I'm saying.
So I
You never
apologize
answered
to
the
our
phone,
guests.
man.
Oh, no.
Hey, that was
All
that was a major promoter, and shared some information that needed to be shared. And being that said, yeah, man. I mean, be honest. That's the main thing, because in this business, as you know, and especially in boxing, man, it's you got to have tough skin and take everything with a grain of salt. Everybody's promising you everything verbally, until it's written and you read out the full contract and they fulfill that. There's a lot of lawsuits going on, man, in this business. But I'm just giving you some advice from some of the people that I bumped into, and you just got one job, man, is to continue to train, win, be victorious, and continue to give back. I know you give back in your own way. Do you have a manager or a PR person with you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, a manager, yeah.
Awesome, man. Who's your manager?
Jeremy and Jason.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You're in great hands, man.
Yeah, I believe
those guys
I
are crushers, man. Those guys are freaking.
I imagine that's
land sharks, so to speak.
Part of how you've been given that opportunity to train full time, like being with them, because I've heard really good things about them. So that's a lot of that comes down to your management too. So.
Absolutely. And Jeremy's a different type of manager. He gets attached. And you're really not supposed to get attached. Jeremy gets emotionally attached to his fighters, man. He really does, man.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Jeremy, he's a really cool guy. I started fighting for him too in the 559 fights, and he's just a real cool guy. Really cool.
No, he's down to earth. Yeah, we had him on the show. About 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. We talked about MMA for about 10 minutes. The rest was all just lifestyle, plain and simple. And that's what people want to hear sometimes. We can talk about boxing, MMA all day long, but people want to know what makes you tick, how do you feel, and they want it real, man. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I had to take that call and kind of went off to the side.
Is there anything you can tell us? Like, is there some fight?
Not a damn thing I can say right now.
Okay, I know that feeling today.
Thing I can say right now.
Yeah, no, I know. I knew the exact feeling today.
You take the
smile. He smiled.
Yeah, I know. He got off the phone and he was just grinning. It was like,
it's always good to get that call, man.
No, apparently.
Yeah.
You looked very happy, whatever the phone call was. I honestly thought it was like Marigan like shooting you like this. I'm about to announce this on Instagram or something, like this fight's about to go down, like something big or something. That's what I assumed it was, because it's like, hey, it's probably Marigan, because he'd answer the phone if Rick was calling, because if Rick's calling him during this time.
Okay, well, I mean, why does it have to be Rick?
Well, generally, I figure if you're going to interrupt,
What if it
it's
was
gonna
Bob Arum?
Well, I only know Rick as far as people on your
What
list.
if it was Eddie Hearn?
I don't fucking know those people. All I'm saying is,
What if it was
Rick's
Al
the only
Heyman?
guy I know.
What if
on
it
your
was Al
list.
Heyman?
I don't know Al Heyman either. But I'm saying is, as far as the people I know,
Yeah.
that you'd answer that
Yeah.
phone for, Rick's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, because he'd be like, dude, I'm got to announce this. But I mean, I'm sure you have like 5 names on that list, and I'm sure they're all, high level food chain guys for that, but I don't know any of them. Yeah. All I know is Marigan, as far as like up the food chain of like, who the hell would Rich answer the phone for? Yeah. And I'm like, it's maybe Marigan. That's the only one I can think of, because I'm thinking the only one that would interrupt you during like the show, or knows that you'd be on air right now and can go, oh, breaking news. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're in the perfect spot to do that, kind of thing. Like, we're always in that spot to be like, oh, we're going to announce this right now. We've done that before by accident. Before we gave away.
Oh no, shit! Well, we did
like
announce.
Valor.
Not only that, Andy Reese, who was the former heavyweight champion of the world, came on the show and said, "Hey, I am fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world."
Yeah.
It aired 3 hours when it was airing. Then he said Eddie Hearn says it needs to be pulled, so it was pulled.
Yeah,
and then
it was announced way too soon, way too early. Yeah,
exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, it could have been Bob Arum going, I've got great news. I don't know.
And I talked to Bob Arum briefly in Las Vegas, and he is just a boxing. I mean, he lives on the passion. That's what keeps him alive. Is the passion of boxing. It never gets old. He loves what he's doing, man. And,
that's the key to a ripe old age, man. Is finding something that you're passionate about and you love and you can commit to it. Well, like look at Mike Swick, for example. Dude's living in like Thailand, like running an AKA out there. That's what that guy's gonna do for his life. Like he's gonna be a gym teacher and a gym owner, and that's what he's gonna do. That's just Mike. Yeah. So you find something to do, he'll probably do it till he's like 97 years old.
Absolutely. Everybody will find their passion, man. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna say this real quick, and it's off subject. I had somebody ask me today. They said, "If you can be anywhere in the world, where would you be?" And I thought about it, and I said heaven. And it was a female. She said, that's not what I wanted to hear right now. And I said, well, I mean, I say no because my daughter and my granddaughter are still on Earth. So I said, okay, if there's any place, I said, on the podcast. I said, behind the microphone somewhere. Because that's my serenity. It really is. It really is. This is my freaking serenity. I mean, I haven't told my story, but that's just the truth. I love being behind the microphone.
It's an escape.
It is.
So to speak, from the outside world, you kind of just get to dictate the output.
You do what you love. You never work a day in your life.
I know.
And people can see it as this level. I'm seeing it as beyond. I'm looking past Fresno. We're bringing Fresno with us.
Yeah. That sounds like a suitcase job.
No, yeah, something like that, man. So let me ask you, man, okay, are you a big fan of boxing, or you just support it, you just watch it? I mean, Jose Ramirez, local guy, Avenal. I mean, he's putting his name on the map, going worldwide.
I was a big fan before. I was a big fan, but
is that what got you into mixed martial arts?
You know what? Yeah, it probably was. It started with boxing.
Yeah,
I started watching a lot. I was watching a lot of boxing, and at first I wanted to be a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where that right hand came from?
Yeah, it came from my street fight experience.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I was good at throwing the overhand right. I dropped a lot of guys in street fights with that. But that's what got me into actually mixed martial arts. But I was boxing. At first, I was boxing. I was really into boxing, and then I started thinking about it to myself. After MMA started blowing up, I was thinking like, because
closer to what you're doing already.
Yeah, and then I started. And then when at a young age, my stepfather, he would bring home those UFC.
The old school burnt ones.
The burnt ones.
Oh, nice.
And I'm there as a kid, sitting down, just watching. And I just thought, like, when I seen that, I was like, wow, like, and I think one of the first ones I seen was when Anderson Silva fought Forrest Griffin, and he was just, whoo, boom, boom.
Damn, bro, how young are you? He said my dad came home with burnt CDs. I was waiting for like the VHS, like UFC 1s or 2. I was like, okay, cool. No, burnt DVDs. Like, damn, man, how young are you, bro?
I was on that card.
Oh, you're on that one?
No, but that's just how old I feel when you say that. You're like, yeah, I came with burnt DVDs. Like, I'm expecting, like, bro, he was renting these VHS.
I'm 25 years old right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
I was probably like 11, 10.
Yeah.
When I seen that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I just thought to myself, after when I seen Anderson Silva just drop Griffin like that, I was like,
yeah, backing up.
I was like, oh, I was like,
you got to watch some Ken Shamrock Hoist Gracie. That's some classical stuff right there.
Yeah, so I was watching all those. I was watching all that stuff. I was like, man, this is like all, not just Anderson, but all like freaking Shogun, freaking
the old school Pride fights.
Pride fight was great. Rampage. I was Vitor Belfort. I was watching all these dudes, and I was just like, I was like, and Chuck Liddell. I was like, man, like this is like off the chain. Like I remember telling my uncle one time because I was a kid, and I was like, I told him I was like, I'm gonna do that one day. You know, I told him I said, I'm gonna do that one day. And I'm a little kid, you know, and then he told me, he's like, you think you could do that? I'm like, yeah, I could do that. You know, and then and then now my uncle's tripping out on me now because he's like, oh shit, what the? He's like, you actually did it, man.
That's what he's telling me, like, told you.
I told you, you know, like I told you I was gonna do this, like.
Start. I mean, hey, dude, everybody starts young. Even guys like Jose Ramirez started watching boxing and punching each other in the bedroom while the parents are watching like pay-per-view fights. Like everybody starts out somewhere like that point. It just grows. For some people it does, and some people it doesn't.
Jose's doing fine. He's doing fine. And you know what? When I see him, I got a little bone to pick with him. Because didn't he say on that interview, KP, I said, hey, when's the next card coming out? He goes, I don't know, maybe the next fight, and I'm going to invest, and then I'll save some money on the next fight. I don't know if he purchased it or not, but he's in that new Mercedes, like Jeep. Nice.
Oh,
very nice.
Like that?
Extremely nice. No, I mean, he's living the life, man. But he works very, very hard, puts his life at risk, and he's a top-notch level fighter.
He is handling that path correctly.
Exactly.
Is the best thing to say. Like everybody knows their role.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what they need to get done, and everybody knows how to progress him as in his career.
Yeah.
And then the rest is on him. Is like you need to make sure you progress as a fighter.
He's making and has made great waves in his opportunities that he's gotten. He's slam dunk every opportunity that he's gotten in front of him, and he's taken setback like a true champion. I mean, he has 2 fights. There was one fight where literally day of the guy couldn't fight, so Jose got on the scale anyways to show everybody this is what I put myself through. I at least deserve to get on the scale.
I showed up and did my job.
Exactly. So he had 2 fights postponed.
Nice. But speaking of job, I would actually like to go ahead and let's cut Adrian loose, and we're going to steal Alex here, and we're going to make Alex come here and tell us something fun real quick. All right, guys, we are back. Like I said, we just wanted to take a quick opportunity because opportunities don't come along every day. We are blessed to have Alex Perez, UFC fighter, 135-pound beast, making his way up the food chain. Gave us some times while he's in town. Teammate of Adrian's, was awesome enough to let us steal some time from you. So what's up, dude? How you been?
You know, same old stuff, man. Training.
Yeah, so you haven't fought since January. Was your last one, right?
No, I just fought, January. Yeah, just fought on the 25th.
March,
yeah, we're only February.
Man, I'm hoping, from what I hear, there's a card in San Diego, May 16th.
Okay.
You know, down the street, basically. My family can go down there. Don't have to fly anybody in.
Good for T-shirts in the crowd.
Yeah, man.
You always got to see that wave, man.
Yeah, man. It's a privilege to be able to fight in the UFC, close to home, where your family and friends can come out and support you. You know, I'm originally from Lemoore, so all my friends and family from Lemoore can go out and make it. And then I moved down south, so my family from down south, on my team from down there, Team Oyama, all the gym members, all them, they can go down there and watch me too. So it's pretty fun.
Way more positive support. You get that team feeling and stuff.
Yeah, man, it makes you push that much harder, man. You got a couple hundred people there screaming your name. Like when I fought in Fresno, I couldn't even hear my music walking out.
Yeah, I don't even know why you bothered picking a walkout song on that one. Like anytime a local fighter from Fresno or Visalia or Hanford something fights, it's like, bro, why even pick a walkout song? You're not
when that
hear
music drops and the crowd just freaking explodes because
they know
that their fighter is coming in. And
they go nuts, man. Now, like, unfortunately, when I go, it's out of town. I have my friends fly, and I get like 4 people going, "Dude, go!" And I'm just like, "Dude, yes."
Hey, man, I had that too. I fought a couple times. Philly, North Carolina.
But it's cool when your friends fly out for those, right? Like it's different, man. Like when you see your buddies like actually fly out for your fight, and you're like, dude, that's a bro.
I've had friends, family, people from the gym I train at now come out and support me. It's amazing. It's a good feeling because then it's a small group and it just makes you feel the love even though you're traveling.
Well, you know who your dogs are, man, and who got your back. When it's all said and done, you know who's making the effort to come and see you and support you, man.
Oh no, definitely, man. Always a good feeling to have people in the crowd.
So you've been in the game a minute. Let me pick your brain a little. Where do you see, like we were talking about earlier, with all the entertainment-based fights that are being decided versus 5 years ago, you had dudes that were like, yeah, you're number 3, you're number 2, fight. Like they were actually going to have contender elimination matches that were supposed to be like 5 rounds long, and the winner that was supposed to move on to a title fight. Like they even They had like it all mapped out and lined out. We're gonna have title eliminators and stuff on like the same card as like title fights and stuff.
Times change, man. It's not the same game I got into. You know, like I said.
How have you seen your strategy change? Like how much have you actually changed your strategy as far as self-marketing, branding, what you have to do to get fights now versus just whipping people's asses was enough?
Honestly, I haven't really changed much. I'm not a guy that's gonna go out there and talk shit. Not my style. I hate social media, so I really don't post. I really don't do much on there. I just keep winning, man. And you know, when I do interviews and stuff, I call people out. You know, when I ask for a fight, you know, ask for a couple guys and see what they say. If they say no, on to the next.
Yeah, and that's all you can do.
The business has changed so much. It's a money-driven business, and I understand you got to make money. You know, it's not like it was before, man. I remember fighting and behind a pizza parlor, making my debut with like 20 people, and the guy's like, "Oh, okay, we'll fight." You know, it's just about money, man. You got to make money.
Yeah,
I understand the concept. People got to get paid. Everybody got to get paid. Fighters, the bosses. The people
now,
running it.
How long can you offer fights in that session, in that fan? Because you remember back then when they had bullshit fights like that, fans would be like, "This is stupid. Fuck it, I'm not even going to buy the next pay-per-view." How long do you think you can run that business strategy before the fans start going, it's just WWE now, and then it loses its real fights appeal kind of thing, and it's no longer even...
Well, it depends. So, you know, I seen you're talking about Yoel Romero and Stylebender.
Yeah.
Right? So you put that as a main event, but who's on the undercard? Who's on the undercard sell the main card? There's sometimes I see the pay-per-view, like, man, I don't want to watch that fight, but then you see 4 or 5 guys. Heavy. You see 4 or 5 guys on there. Hey, man, those fights are actually pretty good. I want to buy. The main event might not be the best, but the card fights underneath are amazing fights. You look at them like, oh,
especially
man,
especially when they're in your weight. I mean, now it creates opportunity for you. It creates a circle of element of opportunity where you can, hey, man, so and so got hurt, or now I'm moving up, or so and so got beat, and
it just,
you're good
like
to go.
I said, if you put on good fights, like you finish fights or you're entertaining, right? You fight a night kind of guy, and you're on a card like you said, you're all Romero or something like that, right?
If you're on the main card anywhere.
It's probably not the best seller. You know what I mean? Romero's coming off 2 losses, but you put that card there, and then you put good fights. Guys are finishing fights. Oh, this guy and this guy all both finish fights. They, you know, the people will buy it to watch their fights. Maybe not the main event, but they'll watch the main event because they bought the pay-per-view. But just those fights underneath, it's what makes the card.
Yeah,
the main event doesn't always make the card.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even have to make the card, but it has to at least make sense. Like at some point.
Yeah,
like at some point.
I can. Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. The bosses.
No, they write the checks. They write the checks. But I mean, you got guys like Cejudo who it's not even the check writers offering saying we're going to have this fight. It's him asking to fight Aldo, and it's like, well, there's like 3 dudes off the top of my head that I can think of that already are on multi-fight win streaks in that weight class that are deserving.
Some weight doing that.
But is that smart of Cejudo calling out someone that he thinks he can beat rather than fighting Peter Yan that he can't, that he might not be able to beat? Not saying he can or can't, but
it'd be a challenge fight.
Bigger threat, you know.
It'd be a test fight, yeah.
Like if you give me an option, fight this guy who I can beat, or give me this guy that's going to push me. Hey, let me get the easier fight first, let me get a payday.
And that's where the entertainment aspect has leaked over into the fact of what kind of champion do you want to be? Do you want to be the best champion, or do you want to be the best one that picks the right fights? And
eventually, you're going to have to fight everybody if you're champion. You can't avoid everybody forever.
True.
But can you pick up paychecks on the way? Might as well. You don't get paid as much as boxing does. You know,
no,
we get
but
paid
you still get paid.
Hey, we
pretty
still don't
well to an extent.
But you know what I mean? Like we don't get guaranteed money, millions of dollars. Where,
no
like I said, like if I'm Cejudo, if I'm looking at Jose Aldo, that didn't look so great in his last fight. I mean, he won.
Like, I think he won.
I felt he won, but then you look at Peter Yan's been blowing through everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let me fight Jose Aldo, get another paycheck, and then let me see, okay, who are they gonna offer me, Peter Yan or Aljamain?
And that's where
they kind of pick. Okay, who am I gonna fight?
And that's where the sport's changed. It used to be like, okay, give me Yan.
Oh yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You go down the list, and then after you're done with that, it goes over. But like I said,
that started to become stale.
Is he cherry picking?
It's a bit,
or is he making a business decision?
For me, it's a business decision, man. Okay. You got to get paid.
Well, it's cherry picking, but it's based on a business decision. Yeah. It's not like, oh, I'm dodging people. It's like, this is the smartest path for me as far as my financial security. Where I'm just old school, looking at it from the perspective of, dude, why aren't you fighting number 2? Like. If it's not entertaining, whip his ass and get paid.
Fighters, they need to think like managers. And managers, where am I going to put my fighter with the less risk possible to continue to climb? So, you know, if he's thinking like a manager, I mean, will it be better if the manager says no? Okay, I'm going to fight whoever my manager says, and not call anybody out. But in a sense, I mean, Henry, he has pull now. He's there, whether you like him or not. He does some off the wall bullshit. He has that pull to at least say, I want to fight this guy, because he's fought everybody. Okay, is it a sin when he was asking to fight the toughest guys?
No,
I'm just being, I'm just keeping it real, because he was asking to fight the toughest dudes out there and calling them out. So one time he says, I want to fight Aldo. Maybe it's just because of history. Maybe it's because this guy's a legend. He may say
he even said it. It's because he's a legend. Like that was literally the criteria for why, and but that just equals. I just want to pay it.
He may get beat by that legend. You never know.
I think Aldo probably has a very real. I mean, just given Aldo's striking and the height, but like I said, I was telling her, it's like guys like him and a couple other guys. They're like you can see the sunset in the distance. It's coming. Like you have a shelf life.
Yeah.
Like, and as many wars as a guy like Aldo's been through before, changes in recovery and training and all that stuff, and cutting methods and stuff, like that takes its toll.
Yeah.
Like in my eyes, like Aldo's kind of getting to like Vanderlei Silva status as far as like the wars he's been in and how brutal those wars have been and how eventually it takes its toll.
Man, but he hasn't had as many wars as people think. I mean, he was so dominant for so long. He got knocked out by Conor. The Korean Zombie fight when they fought. I mean, he was losing that fight until Korean Zombie's shoulder popped out. I mean, Mendes was a war, but other than that, you really don't see too many fights. I mean, like that he's like gone in there. Even the
so
fight.
Thinking he'll have a little more.
Even when he fought Max, Max beat him, but it wasn't like.
He got knocked out.
He got knocked out. I mean,
he didn't receive a lot of punishment leading up.
So he hasn't been as many wars. I mean, he looked good against Marlon Moraes. I mean, and that was a top contender. And he looked good against him. Good. I felt like he won the fight. I mean, judges nowadays, you never know.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But it's like hit or miss. But, I mean, I think he looks good. I think he's a better fight than people think.
So you're thinking he's got more shelf life still reserved as far as
I feel like
shelf life is.
I believe more of the damage happens in training.
Well, of course, yeah.
Especially the way, training was back in the day. He's been for so long. Like the training back in the day, man, I remember.
It was rough.
Man, I remember training
hard every day.
I remember training with Timo Choa and Isaac De Jesus at Thrive and all those guys. Man, we went to war every day. By the time we got to a fight, it was like, oh man, like, damn, training sometimes was harder than the fight.
Yeah, the fight was easier. Like, damn, I did all that for 10 seconds.
Yeah,
what the
man.
Fuck, dude. Yeah. So you end up hurt in training. You come into the fight hurt, and that's what we used to say. Like, if you don't go to a fight hurt, you didn't train hard enough. Like, because you just weren't. You took it easy. That's why you're not even injured. So it's different, but I don't know. I think Aldo beats him kind of with that reach. To be honest,
I think Henry's gonna have a hard time holding him down. He's gonna take him down. He's gonna have a hard time holding him down. And I think that low kick makes a difference, man. Marlon was destroying that leg, and then but the thing that Henry got going from, he has his inner dog, and you've seen that against the Marlon Moraes fight. He was getting destroyed.
Super scrappy.
One more round with those leg kicks, he would have been done. And he turned the tide.
He had Marlon kind of turn his leg.
He went in there and made that fight dirty, where Marlon Moraes wasn't used to, and he was able to win that fight.
Turned into a fight, not a.
Yeah, he made it. It wasn't like it wasn't the prettiest win.
Yeah.
He turned into a dog fight, and man, that's hard to beat sometimes. If I think Aldo sticks to that jab, low kicks, stays on him, he'll be fine. But then Aldo hasn't been in really too many dog fights, like where he's like back and forth. I mean, that Mendes fight was a dog fight.
That's what I was gonna say. He was in a dog fight with Mendes, but it's been a while since then.
But it wasn't. It's been a while, but it wasn't a fight where the guy was constantly in your face. It was like they punch, he punch, he punch.
It was
like they got little breathers.
Like a pattern going on.
Henry came in and just destroyed him, got him in the clinch, just worked him from there. So it just depends what.
So you thinking maybe Cejudo by decision, maybe?
I think so, man. I love Aldo. He's one of my all-time favorites guys.
You just don't think you'll be able to pull it off enough.
I think five rounds in a dogfight pace, it's gonna be hard.
See, man, that almost feel like it would break Aldo. Like right now,
it sounds like the potential of being a great fight.
Well,
strategically,
I'm gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong.
He wasn't able to push the pace against Marlon. Like he was able to push that pace because Marlon didn't bring the fight to him. Like he looked like he was in shape, not having trouble breathing.
Yeah,
he did get rocked. He did get rocked with that head kick at the beginning, but he came back. But Henry isn't Marlon, he comes in and he fights. He's trying to be in your face, kind of thing like that. He's gonna keep the pace, so it's gonna be a real fight. Like
it's kind of in and out too.
I feel like Jose, all those heart rate went up for a little bit, and it kind of went back to where he was used to chilling, using that jab, using his length,
not up
boxing.
and just constantly push up and up.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But
I do want to mention this. Jose Aldo does. Well, he had 2 camps where he was at Robert Garcia's boxing academy. He was actually there working on his stand-up. I did for the Max fight, I believe it was, and he continues to float in there every so often.
No, his boxing is great. He has one of the best jabs I've seen, but it's not boxing.
No. Hey, iron sharpens iron in any shape or form, man. It really does in any shape or form.
You mentioned the ref thing, like you're saying, like don't leave it to the refs and everything. I've been wondering, and I was wanting to get your take on this. Do you think that MMA refs should have MMA fights in order to judge MMA?
They have to know what they're talking about. Like everybody's talking about what happened in Texas.
I was looking at this
Everybody's exactly. He's looking on his phone, but if you look at it, that guy's actually a black belt. One of the judges on there. I've just laughed because I look on Twitter. The guy's talking shit to everybody, like calling me, "Oh, meet me at this gym. I'll show you what's up." Like he's putting out his address on there. So I try to get my manager
like
Jason.
Like the dojo level guy.
Yeah. No, like supposedly he's a black belt. I try to get my manager Jason. I was like, dude, I bet you we can start a GoFundMe account, get you out there, like actually sell some tickets. You know what I mean? Make some money. But it's just funny because that guy's supposed to be a black belt. It's just. Like I said, you're not paying attention. Some guys.
Well, the criteria too.
Criteria is, it's kind of hard to judge. Like, are you gonna judge striking? Like the Aldo fight, for example. Aldo was doing all the pressuring. Marlon was running around.
Cage control.
But Marlon landed stronger strikes. Maybe not as many as Aldo was landing, but he landed more significant strikes.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the judging.
And plus, if you have a judge that's primarily a boxing judge, they're going to be just on muscle memory and just the way their brain processes watching a fight, they're going to be looking at just the striking alone and almost tunnel vision.
You can't just look at that fight of those judges. You got to look at the pattern in the history of the judges. I mean, when you bring them in there, look at them, because a lot of times they expose themselves. So little by little, they're cleaning it up, because when they expose themselves with a bad day at work, so to speak, they're no longer there sitting cage side. They're no longer there having that opportunity to judge the major fights.
Well, I feel like our sport is so new still. Like it's people
it's
like,
like
it's 20 years,
you know
what I mean? Like that's still not a long time to be a sport, like to be that
research, that knowledge.
Like look at the NFL. Critique. Still to this day, how long has it been around? Still to this day, they're making rule changes.
We'll never get it right. Because we could talk about the Jones fight too. We could talk about the judges there and the scoring there too. So we'll never get it right. Just like a fighter can be a champion and not just show up that day.
With the Jones fight, I do believe this: if it's a close fight, there's a round in there that you don't know who you give it to. Man, you gotta. I feel like you gotta like kind of split it out to the champ.
And that's why
I feel like the judges should be able to see that's
a big rule in boxing. I mean,
what do you think? How about this crazy idea? What do you think about no rounds in title fights? No round limit. Like every round's 5 minutes, but you hit that 5th round mark. Guess what? Round 6 is next. Round 7, one of them's gonna just break. Like you're gonna get to round 6 or 7, and one of them is just gonna be tired.
There's no decisions. That's what
no decisions. It just goes like boxing used to go like 50 rounds. Now, granted, that goes forever, but it's not gonna go as long as people would think. It's gonna go round 6, maybe 7, and one of them's just gonna get tired and just get dominated.
Yeah,
or just get caught. Like it's not going to go rounds 9 and 10. It's not.
Or just go. Hey, whoever wins this round.
But is the money gonna back it up though?
Exactly. Like NFL's having that because they're adopting now a 17th game.
Yeah.
Eliminating a preseason game, that doesn't do anything because the veterans aren't in the preseason game anyways. Yeah. They're barely hike and saying hello. We're in a baseball.
You're just taking away a game for the new guys to get.
They're putting more risk on these guys because they start hitting.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do?
Get your backup quarterback's legs snapped in a non-preseason game.
Not change the subject, but as it is, I mean, they're protecting the quarterback a little too much. If you hit somebody like football, they're going to throw a flag. So that 17th game, they're going to have to make up some other rules and keep them safe. Just that extra game. That's another game they got to put their life at risk.
I feel like Invicta, after that whole Texas thing went down, Invicta did an open scoring. I know they do it in Glory and stuff. I think for me, I think that's the best way to go because. Even if you think you're winning the fight, even if you're in your mind you're winning the fight, at least you know you're getting screwed over. Like, hey man, I'm getting screwed over in this fight. I got to push it right now.
From that perspective,
so you get to see a bad decision early.
You can't change this. You can't change the. Yeah, you can see it early, but it gives you like if I think I won 2 rounds, but it's 1-1. that gives you the incentive of, okay, I got to knock this guy out or I got to dominate this
Now,
round.
how fast are you going to get that information, though, for it to actually be of use? Like, you're going to have, one of your cornermen's going to have his phone out.
I know in Glory they do it. They put it up on the screen
Yeah,
or whatever.
Okay.
Glory,
Live
they
feed
do
right
it.
there. So you could just, your
they-
cornerman could just look up and go, okay, we won
I'm
that
not sure
round.
how they do it, but I know they get it quick. They get the information quick.
That's
So at
going to
least-
cause all kinds of problems,
but-
man. You're going to have some
but-
fans in
but-
there throwing down when they see
But
the
at
scores.
least the fighter knows what's going on.
And the
But
gambler
that could
is
be a
going to be
negative,
like,
too. Let's say
yeah.
it says, oh, we won round 2, your coach looked at you and won round 2. You did not win round 2. You know what I mean? They just fucked it up and judged it wrong, but you're getting your ass kicked kind of thing. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. Like you win one, it doesn't matter if it's 1-1 still. Even though you got your ass kicked second round, they still give it to you.
You know what they
still
need?
got to come
Okay,
back.
here's what they need to do. When the announcer says it's scheduled for 3 rounds, scheduled for 5 rounds, says, ladies and gentlemen, we're scheduled for a knockout. Plain and simple, period. I mean, what are you else going to do? Because no one's ever going to get it right. I mean, you want to continue to go and go until somebody quits, you know. Shoot,
But I can see the live thing being an advantage to as far as the pace of the fight.
Well,
like
it
making changes on the fly.
will make better fights because now you can see if I'm winning, right? I'm winning the first 2 rounds. Like
How do you adjust
I
that
could
third?
say me and you're fighting, right? You're winning the first 2 rounds. You can be like, oh, I'm gonna coast. Me, I gotta come out of there, go out there swinging.
Now you know that you
have to
either
finish him in that
I'm not
round.
getting knocked
Now
out, or
you're
you're gonna
chasing
get
him.
knocked out. One of those things. I have to take the risk.
Yeah, because you're gonna lose
I'd
otherwise.
rather
You'll
like,
be
if
the
we're-
only one taking the risk. This
Yeah.
guy will be on his wheels.
Well,
Yeah.
well, he eventually gonna have to fight me. You only can run for so long for 5 minutes. It's not like, hey man, believe me, I've tried it before. It's crazy, you know. And there's been some times I'm like, oh man, but
You
know what I
gotta-
mean.
you
But
gotta stay on
it
the
changes.
back
It changes the mindset. You know, if we're 1-1, that now third round is 1-1. Who's gonna win? Who's
Yeah,
gonna
it
push
becomes
harder?
a sudden death type scenario that you're both aware of at
So
that point.
I think the open scoring is good. I mean, it's not the
Well, it's
might
definitely not a
it
bad thing.
It might not be the best solution. It might not be like the ultimate solution, but eventually you're still gonna have to switch.
It's
kinda
not a
switch, kinda
solution
switch.
by any means, but it is a step in the right direction
that may
towards
be a
improving the
solution
scoring
for the
patterns.
fighter. But in plain and simple period, you may not want to hear this. It's the fans that make the fighter because they're paying for the tickets, they're paying for the promotion, and if they get a decision before early, they sit there and wait to hear in still or in new or.
Obviously, like they'll go 1-1, and then the last round, I don't know how they do it. They're like, okay, they still announce like, okay, this guy wins or whatever. It's
Yeah,
not like
boxing,
the
they tell
last
you
round.
after every round.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make you wait till the very end and go, who did it? They usually just every round, they're like, oh, here's so-and-so scorecard, here's so-and-so.
Well,
So they're
unofficial
trying to-
scorecard. And
Oh, well,
sometimes,
unofficial, yeah.
and
but-
sometimes they're wrong as hell.
Yeah, but you have even a novice viewer can have a vague idea of who is probably
I don't know.
winning.
I like the anticipation.
You can put 1-1 and then hide the third round, kind of see who won.
Yeah.
It. Like I mean,
Add
there's
some entertainment value to it.
so many different ways. But
It's definitely not a bad thing. That's what I'm just saying, that it just, the way they presented it was like this monumental change that they were going to be the first to do, and this is like, well, it's not.
It's been done before.
It's, other people have done it, and the way you're fashioning it is like you came up with it, and that this is the solution to the bad calls.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
there's-
going to
there-
make it better.
Yeah, there's. I said our sport is so young.
Or judges are going to start getting shit thrown at them in between rounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man,
there's going to be people in the crowd arguing. Say, what do you mean? I laid some money down on this. They're going to be hitting up them judges. Exactly.
No,
and
man.
that's just the way it is. That's the way of thinking, especially when you're in a gambling town like Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's never going to be the solution. Whatever they come up with is not going to make everybody happy.
It's
always
not.
There's never going to be an absolute solution because
It's just
they're
gotta,
human.
you just got to figure out what's going to be the best at the time. And
Well,
How do we
I'm
make it
there.
as fair as possible and
Well,
as transparent as possible?
I tell you what we can make fair is this Saturday in Dallas, Texas, my man. We got Mikey Garcia. He's staying at 147 pounds. He'll be fighting Jesse Vargas. Now, when they announced this fight, I've heard people actually, and I mean to change it up, say this was a boring fight. The minute I seen this fight announced, I said it was fire. First of all, because you got two of the same cultures, and they only know one way. They step forward and let it go. Jesse Vargas can easily make 154s. He's staying at 147s. We're talking about the naturally bigger man. Now, Mikey Garcia has never, ever shied away from a challenge when he moved up to 147 to take on Spence. And I thought immediately he was going to come down to 140s, where his stablemate is there, Jose Ramirez, and then now you got Taylor. But he continues to want to prove people wrong, and he told us this, because we actually went down to Robert Garcia's boxing academy. He said, Richard, I'm going to surprise him with my power. And that's one thing that I did notice. This guy was just loading up on some power shots. And I know the people that back up Jesse Vargas, Nancy, Boxing Supreme, and they're in real close with the WBC. And I haven't made a decision on this one yet, publicly, but I'm going to say this now because I'm going to hand it to you and you're going to give a shout out. Cole's going to take us away. But I want to say this. I've already made my decision. I'm Team Mikey Garcia. And that's no offense
I was
against
going to say, I saw you had the shirt on.
No, against Jesse Vargas, because he's always treated me with class and respect. He's a great fighter, great chin, great work ethic. But it's something about being at Robert Garcia's boxing academy. And I said it before, iron sharpens iron, and use the term dogs, nothing but dogs come in there. The best of the best come in there. And when you see things live in front of you that would be on pay-per-view, we got the opportunity of seeing, I'm not going to mention who they were, 2 champions spar in the ring. Well, they may have said it was sparring, but these bastards went at it. Everything goes. So I think Mikey Garcia is completely 100% ready. He's going to be victorious Saturday. And I have him stopping Jesse Vargas for the first time in his career. I got him stopping him in the 9th round. So being that said, I had to give a shout out to Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. Mikey, hey, I appreciate all the love and sharing with us and opening up your gym and letting us rock in there, man. The Fighter's Voice, you always give us the time of day. Actually, Robert was going to call in on the show, but he was training Mikey at this time. Mikey just said, you know what, I feel like training right now. Hey, he's in fight mode, and that's
Gym's
why you're there.
open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I had to throw that in there, man, and give a shout out to my dogs, man.
I like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of shout outs, where can your fans make sure update them? Where can they find you? Twitter, Instagram? I know you're not big on social media, but it is part of the beast.
Yeah, man, you guys can find me at Alex Perez MMA, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
I like how you make it simple, though.
Yeah, it's simple, man. You guys can hit me up anytime. I usually get back to people. Any question you guys have about training, where to train, diet stuff. I get the most random questions sometimes, but I try to answer, respond to everybody.
So remember, guys, hit him up with your questions. He's, like I said, I've always said he's not big on social media. So hit him up with those questions. Kind of force him to use a little. Let's get him integrated. At least for the social atmosphere of answering your questions, giving advice, nutritional things like that. Like, it may not be in the sense of how you think they want you to use it to brand yourself, but you're using it in a method to reach your fans and grow that base of knowledge of, dude, that's a perfect question. I got to ask Alex. Like, he always answers my questions. The guy's cool as shit. And that's just life in general, answer random questions. But do you have anything coming up? I know you don't have anything scheduled until like May is what you were looking for, but do you have like any seminars, any jiu-jitsu comps you're looking at? Anything
no,
fun
man,
like that?
you guys can contact me for seminars. I'm always in the Valley. I come down, try to come down as much as possible. I'm always training at Timoyama. I'm a wrestling coach out there, and I run cardio classes and private lessons. But like when my teammates fight, like Adrian is fighting out here and Brock's fighting out here, I always try to come and support, be in their corner. Anytime I'm in town, you guys see that they have a fight. Usually I'm with them. Just hit me up.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Every time, man, we need just one of those.
Yeah, man.
Also featuring Alex Perez, UFC star.
Exactly. Get that window, and I'm glad you were thinking the same thing. Get his ass on the mic.
I'm looking at a place to train. Saturday. So if you guys got any training going on, let me know. I brought my gear to train, and stay ready.
I'll hit up a couple guys. I'm sure there's a couple gyms, either Dethrone or Malpad or something like that, that's going to have some Saturday classes. Be like, yeah, dude, we'd love to have you come in and just hang out with our guys and roll and get some time in with them. They'd be awesome to learn that stuff. So appreciate you coming down, man. I know it wasn't expected, but I do appreciate you giving us your time and knowledge.
Thank you.
I love picking your brain. Alex Perez, guys, UFC vet, 135-pounder, looking for like May. And for those of you local guys, remember, Combate, this Friday night, Save Mart Center. Adrian Guzman, our man right here that was on the show tonight, is going to be headlining that bad boy. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, what are you doing? Get on it. Hit him up. Hit the box office off. Hit Combate up. Hit our boy Adrian up. Hit our boy that was on here, Jose. Hit all those guys up. They got tickets. They need to get rid of them. They're like hotcakes. Other than that, guys, that's it, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I forgot to do is those of you that can name, and I know there's a long list, okay? The first 2 people will get a pair of tickets. You got to hit me up on the box, but you got to show that you subscribe to the channel, and that's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. That's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Let me know where Alex Perez went to high school at, and let me know the first 2 people where he went to high school at. And if one can say he went to this high school and this junior middle school, sort of 7th and 8th grade, you'll get a Fighter's Voice T-shirt. The first 2 people.
Click it for tickets. I like
Click it right there. But if your name don't pop up because you subscribe for a channel,
you got to subscribe.
Hey.
Like, that's the only real qualification we have is you have to subscribe. Like, it's not that hard, dude. You got to buy a lottery ticket to win. Get in the program.
That's right. Goodman's already inboxing me. You know what I mean?
I'm sure, dude. Alex is going to be so many text messages. Yo, bro, where'd you go to high school?
Exactly.
People are opening up yearbooks as we speak.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, believe me, there's only one high school where I went to high school at.
Dad,
so
don't be giving out hints, bro.
Hey, it don't
Pretty
matter.
easy.
Hey, we'll see.
As far as they know, you went to high school in Visalia, dude. Don't be saying that shit.
Oh man, come on now.
No, there you are.
Cool.
Hey, Fresno, California, Combate America is Friday. Don't forget to be there, man. If you're not there, hey, say you're square. You got to be there. Mike Fromowitz, man. I mean, you put on a good show. I can't wait to get out there, watch you, and support you. And I know it was Fresno, California. It's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.